You don't like time, right? You don't want to get rushed. You don't want to make the wrong decision. And usually time helps you make the right decision. Well, with, I would say, the shocking news yesterday, I got a lot of people that told me, of course Dan Hurley wasn't taking that job with the Lakers. I'm like, really? Because I thought he was going to. But he's going back to UConn. He's going to get a lot of money from them. But now the Lakers' job back in flux. You would think JJ Redick just slides right on in there. I sent the tweet yesterday. I go, is he just now a lock for that job? And anything that happens in the national scene of sports, I always do what? I tie it back to Cleveland. What's the interest of Dan Hurley not taking this job for the Cleveland Browns? No, I'm just kidding. It's not that. But now the Cavs, you might need to get a move on here. Maybe one of your candidates now all of a sudden would be a candidate for that Lakers job. And you don't want to let James Borrego go interview there. I don't hear much about Kenny Atkinson, but if Borrego is truly the apple of their eye, he has been reported as an interest for that job. I'd love nothing more than it to be super easy, right? They didn't get Dan Hurley. They just get JJ Redick, and that doesn't impact the Cavs' decision at all. Comes back to a question we discussed yesterday. How important is that head coaching hire for the Cavs? Here I am saying, I'm getting all worried about it, but I also said yesterday, man, hire me somebody. But I don't want the Lakers stealing the Cavs guy. While I want them to hire the right guy, it's not the most important thing, but it's important. I still don't want another team dictating what you have to do. If James Borrego is really the guy for the Cavs, you hire him today. Do not let the Lakers get back into this thing. Do not let them even interview him another time. If you're getting that rumbling, that there's even a little smidge of that potential, you end this today, you hire him as your next head coach, and you're off to the races for the rest of the offseason. So we have a lot to talk about with that. We'll get to it on 2 for Tuesday about Hurley passing that job up, which I just don't understand. Guards, Battle of Ohio tonight. We have sent the challenge to the Cincinnati guys. We have sent it to the Cincinnati guys. So we'll get to that coming up. Plenty of football to get to. They listed the top new wide receiver quarterback combos in the NFL. Did Jerry Jeudy, Deshaun Watson make that list? We'll get to that coming up. We've got mini camp storylines. Everybody reporting for the Browns? Is everybody there? Cincinnati guys still just freaking out. Is T. Higgins there? What's going on? We'll get to that coming up as well. We got the grid. We got the morning update and a bracket. This is going to be a hard one. We did the best director ever.
I can't wait to just get total shit for it.
Ryan didn't put Alfred Hitchcock in the list.
Because, dude, no.
We'll get to that coming up. We got the time hop. We got it all for you on a 2 for Tuesday right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. Good morning. Happy to have you alongside. Following us, Twitter, at Matt Fontana Show. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, at Matt Fontana Show. We stream on Twitch every morning as well. You can also check out the Instagram. Do you want to lay out to the people why you did not put Alfred Hitchcock in the 16-man bracket for the best director in history?
All right, like, I understand. We went through this before.
All right, so here's how it goes. We always send out, we want people to give us their nominations. Last week was Serial. We're doing directors. And I appreciate, like, RJ, the movie critic, my buddy Joe. These guys are, like, RJ is a legit film critic. Joe teaches film at Arizona State University. They know what they're talking about. And they sent in a couple, and I was like, okay, a lot of names that you would pick. And 16 seems like it's a lot, but I guess it's really not. So Ryan filled the bracket out, and he opened it up, and I was like, all right, there's Spielberg. Oh, my God, you didn't put George Lucas in there.
Dude, I'm not putting... No, he doesn't deserve to be in there.
What do you mean?
What did he done outside of Star Wars?
What do you mean?
What has he done outside of Star Wars?
He's done Star Wars, Ryan. That's all that matters.
So you have to Google it. That's my whole point.
Well,
and the same thing with Alfred Hitchcock. You have to Google.
No, I didn't have to Google Alfred Hitchcock.
You have to Google Alfred Hitchcock.
Vertigo, The Birds. What do you mean?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, you're coming from the standpoint of George Lucas did American Graffiti.
Never heard of it.
No. Okay. All right. George Lucas filmography. Okay, he really only directed Star Wars and American
I told you, he doesn't
Graffiti.
deserve it.
Well, Lucas Films has done a lot. So here's the thing.
He sold his soul to Disney.
Like, you're talking about and this is why I think that these brackets are so fun. This is the ultimate personal taste type of bracket. Like there are people, it's like when we do musical artists, right? I hate the Beatles. I don't think they're very good. There are people like, oh, Spielberg's overrated, right? He's not very good. But then you talk about the impact in film. And I think that's like Hitchcock. If you talk to people that are in the film industry, the things that he was doing and the angles and all the other stuff that he did was just so groundbreaking, on top of the fact that he made some really, really good movies. But like, yeah, it'll sway a little towards maybe newer. You left out Hitchcock and George Lucas.
If somebody wants to throw in the comments Hitchcock, that's fine. It's not going to win, but that's fine.
But I mean, then we have to take somebody out. That's the other problem.
I mean, we can talk about it.
We'll talk about it later, but we'll get to that. And really, we should wait until the end of the show to officially fill that out.
We can always edit it, but
we can.
I think I did a really good job of incorporating the comments of nominees that people wanted and who really deserves to be on that list.
Okay, here's an idea. This is from my wrestling background. You ever heard of a rat tail?
No.
So or a pigtail? They call them the same thing. So imagine you go to a tournament and there's 32 spots. It's a 32-person bracket, right? But sometimes there'll be 34 or 35 kids there. They would do a preliminary match. And if you win that, then you actually get into the tournament. Do you want to do a rat tail for one to make the tournament?
Yeah, we could do that.
Of Hitchcock, George Lucas, but then you got to pull somebody else out to put them in. It's a 3-man.
I'm not putting in George Lucas. I'll listen to Hitchcock.
Why are you so anti-George Lucas?
Because all he did is Star Wars.
All right. I guess he's not going in.
That's all he's done.
I guess. So, again, you just want to leave Hitchcock out?
If people truly have a problem, we can.
All right. Well, if you've got an issue with it, tweet at us and let us know if Hitchcock needs it. I will
flood my inbox.
I will say that our 16 is pretty solid. I will say that our 16 is pretty solid. Like when you ran through that, I was like, man, the Coen brothers, Tarantino's got to go up against John Carpenter. I'm voting John Carpenter. That's my entry for it. Your boy Christopher Nolan,
the GOAT.
Didn't you have him up against Scorsese?
We changed it.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, I got a little scared.
Okay. But still, I mean, that's the tough thing is every vote, every single bracket in this is going to be tough for the best director of all time. So we'll get to that. And in fact, today's a giant day for movies.
I don't think Scorsese touches Nolan and Tarantino. I don't think he touches them.
Oh, doesn't touch Tarantino.
No.
Here's the thing. I like Quentin Tarantino. I think there's a little more hype. I don't know.
No, his movies are gas.
I know. I'm not saying they're not good, but like everybody has him in the mark of the best director of all time. I mean, I like Tarantino. It's fine, but I guess I'm not the cultist person.
When you have to debate, like when you're thinking of like Django Unchained, Inglourious Basterds.
Inglourious Basterds is damn near perfect.
Pulp Fiction. Like if if one of those is like your third best movie, that's crazy.
Well,
like,
I can say the same thing about Spielberg.
No.
What do you mean?
No, you're just a Jaws enthusiast.
Jurassic Park and Saving Private Ryan as even just a top 3?
See, Saving Private Ryan is legit. Jurassic Park, get out of here.
You're insane. You're insane. Schindler's List.
Yeah.
I didn't even mention Raiders of the Lost Ark. I am biased because I would say
Schindler's List is gas, but
3 of my top 10 favorite movies of all time are Steven Spielberg movies. Jaws, Jurassic Park, and Raiders of the Lost Ark. So you're talking about those 3, then you get to E.T., then you get to Schindler's List. Spielberg's great. He's awesome. I don't even like E.T. all that much, but that's where it's at. Then the Coen brothers, I could just stop with Lebowski and Fargo. I mean, we just stop it right there.
No, Coen
with them.
Brothers legit. What's the other one that I'm thinking of? Why can't I think of it?
Oh, brother, we're out there. Oh, no. You know what you're thinking of?
What?
No Country for Old Men.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking of. That's what I'm saying. That movie's insane. That's a Best Picture winner.
Movie, man.
That's a Best Picture winner.
Do you know that they did a study?
Yes, I did.
They talked to psychiatrists, and they said of all the portrayals of a psycho, of a true psychopath, Anton Chigurh in No Country for Old Men, the closest.
Javier Bardem is
nice. Oh, killed it.
And I think that air gun is like the best weapon.
What's the most you've ever lost on a coin toss?
That is so cool.
I don't know what we're playing for. You're playing for everything. It's traveled 22 years to come to this spot right here. What time do you close? Dusk. Well, dusk isn't a time. I can come back then. Why'd you come back? We're closed.
What a movie.
Wow, it's such a good movie. God, Coen bro. Now, we'll get to it later. I'm all jacked up. I just want to do this for 2 hours.
I know.
We got plenty other to get to. All right, yesterday, Dan Hurley doesn't go to the Lakers. That shocked me. That really did shock me. And two things. Number one, $70 million. Now, I sent the tweet out about him living in Cali, which has got to be something brought up. Darren Ravel actually did the crunch of like taxes there versus the taxes in Connecticut. And I also had somebody telling me like, dude, taxes in Connecticut aren't, they got to pay for the Hamptons or whatever's in Connecticut, whatever. I don't know. They have to, their taxes aren't cheap either. And it comes out to like being semi-close. If he gets this $50 million from UConn, the 70 that he would get from the Lakers, cost of living, taxes, it might be a wash. But then I have thought about it and I said this. Do you want to go back to UConn with the state of college athletics? And then I thought about it from this standpoint. Is basketball not easier than football? Football is a 90-person roster, right? Basketball is 12. And I think the transfer portal has actually been a lot kinder to college basketball than it has college football. College football would drive me insane. That's why Jim Harbaugh, I think, is not at Michigan anymore. Why would you want to deal with that? The NIL money is important, but again, you're just talking about 12 versus 90 and not having to deal with that. Where even when the tournament started, you know where I'm at with college basketball, I don't like it, but in the tournament, you saw so many guys that you're like, oh, wow, that is actually how the transfer portal is supposed to work. There were a couple of guys. Who was the guy was it Oregon? He transferred from like Kent State or from Toledo or some MAC school, right? That's just one or two guys that kind of flip over. And you've also built UConn up that you are the new version of Duke. You are the new version of North Carolina. And I'm not saying they always haven't been a blue blood, but now you're on the forefront. You can get almost any recruit that you want. So if Dan Hurley just used that as leverage back towards UConn, that's fine. I just really thought, go get your bag, go try this for a little bit, because I would think that a lot of coaches have that interest like Saban did. I want to go to the pros just to see what I got, to see if I could do this. And then you realize, okay, I can't, and I'll go back. Like, I thought Hurley would do that. In 3 years, it goes belly up out there in L.A., he'd have the pick of the litter of jobs in college, wouldn't he?
But he has the chance to go back to back to back. That hasn't been done since John Wooden.
Yeah.
You always have this chance to chase history. Or I'm sorry, you don't always have this chance to go back to back to back. Like, that is nuts. That puts you in the upper echelon of college basketball that no coach really is except John Wooden. You can always go to the NBA if
that's the other side of you. It's a great point. You're telling me NBA teams aren't going to call him after he wins another national championship. He'll always be on short list.
Ride this out at UConn while you're on the high of your career.
Well, and he ain't getting fired. It's going to take a decade of bad basketball there. But what do we see a lot of times with coaches? I'm not saying that this is going to happen. I frankly hope it doesn't. Scandal, grades, it can turn quick there too, right? But he goes back to UConn. So I want to first post this. It'll be our first 2 for Tuesday. Ryan already posted it. If you were Dan Hurley, would you have taken that job? Would you have gone and taken that job with the LA Lakers? Very clearly, you know where I'm voting. I would have been. Absolutely, I would have taken it.
I would not.
I would have absolutely taken. So, and it's overwhelming no right now. I'd love to hear your reasons not. Cody tweets. $70 million. Either I win a championship or I'm fired and collect $70 million. He's on my side. Fred says, aging superstars, a flawed roster, and a franchise that has been run like a ship without a captain. A lot of firing, I get it, but get in the bag, man.
But you're still making whatever it is. Let's say it's $50 million at UConn. You're in a situation where you've become the leader of that program. You're admired. You're adored there in Connecticut. You and Gino Auriemma are like the kings of Connecticut at this point.
Yeah.
Your family's there. You have extended family there, I believe, in Dan Hurley's parents' case. You're going across the country to a situation where you don't even know really who's going to be on the roster next year. And then there's the fact of we don't even know if he's going to be a good NBA coach. He probably will be, but you can always go to the NBA in a year or two if you really wanted to. Go make history at UConn.
There's an old saying, you don't ever take the first deal.
And to be fair, and I know this isn't the route most people go when it comes to money because that's the world we live in, But I mean, he made a commitment to kids that transferred there. He
Oh,
probably
sure.
wants to see that through.
And again, I'm one that I hate when I see coaches go. Now, I think Jim Harbaugh did it fine. Here, look at me giving a Michigan guy some credit. I think he did it fine. I won you a national championship. I got you back to prominence. This is what I want to do. And that's about as graceful of an exit as you can have. There are still going to be recruits and commits and guys on that roster that feel slighted. Well, now at the transfer portal, okay, just leave then. That's fine. Like, go. That's it. Dan Hurley, I feel like, again, if he left, that's about as graceful as an exit. It's not one of these where he's backstabbing him, telling him over and over and over again, I'm not leaving. Oh, wait, I actually am going to leave. It's not one of those situations. And also, he's not leaving for another job. Those are the ones that get slimy for me. In college is what I'm talking about. He didn't leave this to go say, oh, I'm going to go coach UCLA now. I'm not leaving this to go take the Texas job. This is something that is completely, well, not completely, but it's different, right? This is a different level and element. And maybe Dan Hurley doesn't have that in him. But I would say this, like Saban going trying to coach Miami. Did you ever think about that with Nick Saban? No, you just think he's the greatest college football coach of all time, right? No offense to Bear Bryant or any of the other ones, right? You know it's Nick Saban. Now, college basketball, you know it's John Wooden. You know it's Coach K. And if he wants to try to chase those guys down, you don't leave. You don't. How many times Krzyzewski every year came up with offers and every year, and some guys left. Calipari tried it, came right back. I'm shocked that it just didn't.
But if
the taster there wasn't enough for him.
It comes back to, again, he can always go to the NBA in another year. You have this chance to be in the same sentence as John Wooden, the greatest coach of college basketball there ever was.
Sure.
I wouldn't mess up that opportunity while you have it.
Oh, and here's the thing. And I guess I'm drunk on the money, even though he's getting good money at UConn.
And I understand that's let's say the difference is what? Let's say 20 mil.
Right, which negated almost by the taxes, cost of living, all that other kind of stuff.
And I understand that's a lot of money, but imagine the potential headache.
Well, not only that, think about all the bonuses that he might hit too. Tell me he's not going to win the ACC. You're telling me that he's not going to go, be back in the tournament, go win another national. I'm sure there's $1 million bonus for winning the national championship.
And what's to say he stays at UConn for another 2-3 years and he's successful, and now he's regarded as a top 3 college coach of all time?
Yeah.
Maybe a better job in the NBA opens up than the Lakers at that point.
Well, and that's why I said you don't always take the first offer. There will be other offers. Teams are going to call him forever. For the Cavs' interest in this whole thing, so now he's not going there. I do want to talk about J.J. Redick potentially taking that job. I think this pushes the Cavs now. You go make this move now. Like, I'm sure they've been circling it. The thing is, and I was thinking about this a lot yesterday, when you talk about the coaching hire, and we deal with it probably more in football here than anything, people, I think, sometimes get so wrapped up in did you do your due diligence, right? And it's more of a dog and pony show of saying, look, we interviewed all these people. We cast this wide net. When in reality, how often was the guy you hired the guy that was your number 1 pick all the time? Because they don't want to be afraid of the optics of it coming off like this was a snap judgment hire or they didn't go through all their channels. And that only comes up if it goes bad, right? If, let's say, I'm just going to keep saying Borrego, right? Let's say if James Borrego was the number 1 guy for Kobe Altman the whole time, but he felt like he needed to interview Johnny Bryan. He had to talk to Mike Inori, and he had to go get Kenny Atkinson an interview. And at the end of it, you still came back to Borrego. Okay, fine. All paths led to that. What if he gets swooped away from you? What if something in this process turned him off of this and you lost him for nothing? Like, I'm not in these interviews. How much are you really going to gain? And then you hear this all the time. Oh, they blew them away in the interview, right? They had all this stuff prepared and they're all ready to go and they blew them away in the interview. 3 years from now, if we're in the Eastern Conference Finals, ain't nobody going to care how you got that guy. In 3 years, if you're firing him, that's when it'll be like, oh, well, wait a minute. You could have gotten this guy, or did you go through all that? And I still think that's a bunch of bull crap, too. You can make this work with different coaches. You pick who you think is best. I'm fine interviewing a few candidates. If you feel like if your gut is telling you this guy the whole time, just make the damn move. Just make the move. And I'll live with whoever you hire. Frankly, I'll talk myself into anybody that you hire.
John Beeline?
Not that. But anything beyond that, I'm in, and I'll believe it. And I will think I do think the Cavs did the right thing. They're done with that college. And I'm not saying that that Dan Hurley's not going to be good, he would probably be the one. But what are all these coaches have in common with the Cavs? First off, which I do think is an element we've lost a little bit, all these guys are employed. You're not finding somebody that's out on the street, okay? I would have taken Mike Budenholzer, but all these guys are employed. All these guys are also pro basketball coaches. I'm not saying they didn't do college at some point. These were all guys on, for the most part, successful basketball teams. That's what you want to go with. Things are starting to pick up with the Lakers. Is JJ Redick just take that job? Like, is this just all right, man, here? Because, the pride can get in the way. And he sits there and he says, all right, I was not clearly your number one pick, right? And people always come out, there's only 30 of these jobs. Okay. You know now what the money offered to Dan Hurley was to get him out of UConn. They ain't offering JJ Redick $70 million. Insane. That was top 6 money in the NBA. They ain't giving that to JJ Redick. So now there's 2 faults here. I was not your number one guy. And another fault on that could be you already interviewed me, and obviously I didn't do good enough for you because then you ramped up your Dan Hurley search. And then I'm not going to get paid the same amount that he would. Prideful me? Say, blank off, man. I don't want your job. And you'd say, that's crazy. Why? JJ Redick's got a fine thing cooking, man. He's the number one analyst on ESPN. He's got his podcast with LeBron. And the same thing I could say about Dan Hurley, I'm assuming other teams will come a call in here eventually. And you also think if it goes bad in LA, that relationship with LeBron, which I don't know what that podcast is worth to them. I doubt it's tens of millions. Maybe it is. I don't know. But, like, you really want to screw that up, too?
If Borrego goes to the Lakers, do you think the Cavs even entertain JJ?
I wouldn't. No. I wouldn't. No.
But I didn't ask you that.
No, I don't think the Cavs would. No. There would have been some sort of scuttlebutt about them interview. You're too far down the road now. And it's the same thing with the Lakers. You put all your eggs in the basket. You put this out for the entire world to see what you were doing. And it went bad. And I'm not sitting here saying the Lakers are looking bad. Like, they took their shot. They shot their shot. It didn't work. Okay. Now what do you do? And you could say JJ Redick will put his big boy pants in and come on in, take the job, and maybe he's a great head coach. I don't know. But if I'm him, I'm sitting there, I'm like, I don't know, man. That's prideful me. I guess if somebody slapped $45 million in front of me, I'd have a hard time turning that down. But JJ Redick, I think, is in a good spot. But it does come back to the Cavs where I think all of this stuff kind of just, let's go. You got a gut feeling, just go with it. Like, if Kobe Altman was sitting right here, I'd just tell him, just get out of this. Make the deal. Get whoever it is. And move forward. And then you put it back on the Lakers, right? But also, like, Kobe Altman is probably more in the know. If he feels like it is going to be JJ Redick, then there is no rush, right? There is no rush. Because if he's going to go there, that doesn't really impact your plans very much. And you go hire the guy that you need to. So our Twitter question is up, at Matt Fontana Show. We're asking everybody, would you have taken the Lakers job if you were Dan Hurley? This is 85-15. People say no.
I wouldn't. It's no.
Alex, he's a king at UConn in La La Land. He's just another coach that's probably going to get fired.
He's not wrong.
I guess. And I think it does come back to, yes, he's truly trying to build something here. There. Oh, well, here we go. Mark Stein, James Borrego is meeting with the Cavs today. It's going to happen. Yeah, it's happening. Yeah. Get it done. Just, I'm going to tweet through. Shout out to More for you, Clee. If he's the guy, just do it. Just sign him up today. Just beat it. And this might be the final one. This might be here's our final offer, and sign him up. And I'd had people tell me that he was the leader in the clubhouse, that he had overtaken Kenny Atkinson. I like the hire. That's a fine hire. I'm all for that. Sign him up. Get it done. He's meeting with him today. Be done with it, and you can move on forward. I do have an NBA mock draft because we have a pick. Let's not forget that. And I just want to see, because Jonathan Gavoni, who does all their stuff at ESPN as far as the draft and things like that, he did not only like a pick for them, but what the team actually needs. Their fill that's the biggest need. And then he also, on this article, so it was Jonathan Givony and then Jeremy Woo, they both made a pick. And here's the thing, for the Cavs, they're 2 picks of names that you know very much. We'll get to that in a second, folks. Want to talk about the big play horse again. Our horse is up and available for you to become a part owner. I'm a part owner. Ryan will be soon. Here's what you do. You go to Big Play Horse on Twitter, and you will see a link to my racehorse, and you will be able to purchase a share of Lahaina Luck 22. Now, the race is on right now to name the horse, and we sent out the first tweet. Some of these are extremely vulgar, and I can't read a lot of these. Yes, horses usually have a big member. I don't need that as a part of the name of the horse. I said improbable luck because the horse, its dad is improbable, and its mom is Lahaina Luck, improbable luck. Rafa said hasta la vista, baby. I like that. Somebody said Josh Naylor.
Yeah, I like that
I like
one.
that one. That was pretty good. Pronk. Oh, it's Dollar Dog Nick. Nick had that. Josh Naylor. Prickly Pete. Biner's Revenge.
There's a ton of comments.
Oh, we had a lot of them. They said just the big play.
Warriors blew a 3-1
Warriors
lead.
blew a 3-1 lead. Hose Naylor. Or no, Jose Ramirez. That's actually, I like that one best. Jose.
Horsey McHorsey face.
Yeah, that was, Bodie McBoatface. John. That horse-faced bastard. But he beat us. But Elway beat us. I don't want to name the horse.
This one was one of my favorites. Gapad a wound.
Yeah.
Remember that when they try to spell dog pound?
Yep. Horsey McHorseface.
Art the Fart Modell.
That's not bad. LeBron James. Yeah, I just think about that kid all the time.
Al Capone.
I saw that. Yeah, there's a lot of good horse ones. Snickers Doodle, gonna be glue. Don't do that to us. Come on. See, that's bad. So here's the thing. If you want to buy into the horse, it's $60 a share. And you can buy as many shares as you want. I bought one. Folks, I'm a part owner of this horse. It's not just his race career, which hasn't even started. It's life after that. I mean, there's a potential. There's always risk of loss, certainly with that. But there's a chance for you to make some money back. We're going to do some exclusive events here at Big Play. They do lotteries for some of the shareholders. You could go to Churchill Downs. Could you imagine going to that? And granted, they did this with Seize the Gray. And Ken was telling us yesterday, they have thousands of owners, but they would do a lottery. Could you imagine? You enter that lottery, you pull tickets to go as a part owner of a horse to Churchill Downs, to Belmont, to the Preakness. How cool is that? It makes a great Father's Day gift. You have somebody out there that's in there that loves horse racing, even if they don't. If I'm a dad, I'd be like, that's a really cool gift. And the thing is, you download the My Racehorse app, and here, I'll do it for you right now. It's also red. And it's not Tipico. It's the My Racehorse app. And all you do, you get updates on your horse. I log in. My horses. Lahaina Luck 22. Updates, results, upcoming events. All of those things are there. Right now, it's available for anybody, but we're not really marketing it outside of Big Play. We wanted to let the Big Play fans and viewers and listeners get a head start on this. So if you want to jump on it, go follow Big Play Horse on Twitter. Go follow Big Play. We'll retweet stuff there. You can name the horse there. Modell can suck it. It's a little long, though. Yeah, Art the Fart Modell is a pretty good one. And now here's just all the... It's just all the Harry Trotter... Usain Colt. That's a pretty good one. Isn't Hoof-Hearted already a name of a horse? Because the other thing, we got to come up with a name that's not used by another horse already. So tweet that. It is available. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for this to get started. And the horse will be, they're starting to train it up. We'll keep you updated, too, on the horse. So get signed up today. Go check out My Racehorse. You can search for Lahaina Luck 22, or just go to Big Play Horse on Twitter, and you'll see the direct link there. All right, back to an NBA mock draft. So this is two, Jeremy Woo and Jonathan Givony. And what they do is Givony makes a pick that fills the biggest need. Woo makes a pick for the best value. These are two names that you know from college basketball. 20th overall pick, Cleveland Cavaliers. Jonathan Givony's pick that fills a need, Kyle Fipowski, Duke, center. Givony writes, Having another skilled big man to play between Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. Magic Johnson ain't going to be here.
I ain't going to be here.
Could be interesting from a lineup perspective since neither of those players offer much floor spacing. Filipowski's ability to handle, pass, and shoot is difficult to come by at 7 feet. And he's the number 21 ranked prospect going into this draft. So again, it's like he's attainable, right? He's going to be there. Alongside another rim protector could help alleviate concerns around his defensive profile. So what you're saying there and what Gavoni is going to, you have right now 2 uber stud defenders. Go get a big guy that can shoot and play a little bit of offense, and that'd be Filipowski. Okay. Jeremy Woo's pick for the best value. I said you would know him. Do you want to guess?
I do not want Zach Edey on my team.
Zach Edey comes off the board for him here to the Cavs.
I do not want him on my basketball team.
All of whom, talking about centers, so here's the thing. They both picked centers. Wasn't a wing. We don't need a guard to clear at this point. Edey comes off the board here. And number 20 out of a group of 3 centers, all of whom bring different things to the table, but project optimistically at somewhat similar level. Edey is unique enough to take on a chance here. I love his toughness and mentality. And he's more polished than the 2 centers I slotted after him. So that is, I believe that Khalil Ware out of Indiana, the center, and then probably Filipowski, right? As I'm looking through the centers, I think that's it.
Well, yeah, Zach Edey's what?
Well, he's 7'4".
I don't know. I'm saying he played college for 4 years.
But the other thing is, what was the knock on him coming into this year? They had a lot of issues with some of the things on how he played. And I know he worked really hard on them, and he helped his draft stock. Been talking about that a lot this offseason. Yeah, I don't think I need that.
All he did was bully college kids. He's not going to do that in the NBA.
Yeah, but 7'4", man. Like, there's a defensive presence there you can't buy. Even if he's not getting up the floor on offense. I don't know if he can do that, though. And the thing is, this is relative, which is another thing that we need to keep our eye on and remember this. Who the Cavs pick here at 20 might not actually ever play for the Cavs. Like, this might be straight up not a Wiggins. Oh, my God, who's the guy that we just drafted that didn't even play here? I just saw him. He's just in the playoffs. Ochai Agbaji.
Yeah.
Right? You took Ochai Agbaji. He was here for a couple of weeks, and you moved on. And granted, that was to get Donovan Mitchell. Like that, you needed to make that trade. But this could be something where, this is something that Kobe Altman might have to deal with, right? Do you make the 20th pick for you, or do you make it for somebody else? And he'll get a better sense of that as the draft rolls on and as we get closer to it, and he starts to sniff out some of these other trades. Do you feel like you draft a center because then you can pair them with Darius Garland to go make a trade? Would you give up if you took Kyle Filipowski and you had Darius Garland? Would you trade those 2 guys for Brandon Ingram?
No.
Would you trade those 2 guys to the Spurs? Not for Webby, that'd be great. But like the Spurs are all hot and heavy on Darius Garland. That's what I'm saying. Do you make a trade? Do you make a selection at 20 that could help your team or help you facilitate a trade elsewhere? It's what Kobe Altman's got in his mind right now. As he got to make these deals. And by the way, go hire James Borrego. And I think they're going to potentially do that today. All right, we got some NFL I want to get to, but is it up? Not yet? Okay. Here's the thing. Guardians are in action tonight. We have sent the challenge to our Cincinnati guys. I put Manzardo in the home run thing. I feel it to my core, Ryan. He's going yard in one of these 2 games. You know, you just feel it. And I got plenty of losing betting slips on Tipico to tell you that I was feeling it and I didn't. We're not going to get the lineup till 4 o'clock. So that's a hard thing to do for the boost. But I want to put him in it. Like, Naylor's in the lineup. Ramirez in the lineup. Jimenez in the lineup. I wanted to go Manzardo. I'm feeling it. So we'll get to that coming up. Big game tonight down there in Cincinnati. Just send it to the Reds. Just give us bragging rights over the Cincinnati guys. That's all I ask about. So let's flip over. Do you want to talk? I just got this email. This is absolutely insane. I get these marketing emails all the time about the arena and all this other kind of stuff. You know the email I got this morning? Do you know what the most Instagrammable NBA arena is?
What does that mean?
The people at Ontario Bets came up with an algorithm based on IG visits, the number of hashtags for the team, the number of followers for the team, and a ranking of the arena to come up with the most Instagrammable arena. in the NBA.
I would just
So I'm
assume
assuming,
it's
like,
Staples Center.
Lakers are one. Lakers are, which again, it's like weird because the Clippers play there too, but all these metrics, and by the way, they have it by a wide margin.
Yeah.
So, and I'm assuming that this is in the world of these streamers and these. Did you see that video of that bodybuilder guy and he slaps the kid? I saw it yesterday.
Bradley Martin.
Yeah. He's working out. The guy steals his hat and he straight up slaps him. I weep for our society, man. And I know we do content here. You're not going to see me out there with a video, like trying to catch people or try, like that stuff is like
there's
just
18-year-olds driving.
18-year-old idiots.
They're driving
out there.
Lambos.
I know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I know. Trust me. They all play video games, and I watch some of them, and they're all in $1 million term, whatever. This is what this list is for these people to go take their Instagram photos.
Did
and
you
do all
see
that.
Kai? Do you know Kai Cenat? I think that's how you pronounce it.
Is he the guy that just got unbanned?
Well, he's the biggest streamer on the planet.
No, I don't
And like
know.
last night, he did like a audition with like Kevin Hart and Drewski.
Okay.
And I mean, there's like 300,000 people watching him, and
Oh,
like
sure.
LeBron's just FaceTiming Kevin Hart on it. Like that's the world that we're in.
I guess. We'd like to get there one day. The Cavs have the 10th most Instagrammable arena. Actually, okay, so we're going to change the boost. We're going to do a dual and boost with them.
No,
Oh, no,
they have
that's
their
different.
own.
Okay, sorry.
I got it.
Sorry. Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah! Guards! Dude. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling Kyle Manzardo bomb. I'm feeling it. They call them piss missiles down there. Get ready for a Manzardo one. Take that. Take that. The Reds are hot. Guardians money. We laid out. What do we got here?
Yep, we're going Stephen Kwan over 1.5 hits. We're going McKenzie over 4.5 strikeouts.
Oh, he's got that.
And to put a bow on this thing, Matt, we're going Kyle Manzardo to get his first career home run. That's plus 2,500.
Let's go, Tipico. Download the app. Use that code Fontana150. You deposit $150. Big ask. I understand that. You will get two $75 protected bets. You lose, you get that money back. You win, you win. This is where it's at. Then you're off to the races for the cashback rewards, folks. It's the best cashback in the industry. It is the best. Then the boosts. Dude, we're up here right now. We're already up. We're on the Ohio trending bets right here. $10. Dude, I'm feeling it.
10's what, 250?
$260 because I get my 10 back too. I just placed. I'm shortchanging you here, man. I'm going in. $10 is a lot for me on these. I'm going in on $10. I ain't gonna shortchange you on this. I ain't gonna wimp out now. Let's go. Manzardo. Yard. Manziardo. Let's go. Typico. Use that code Fontana150. What else we got cooking? Oh, we got to do our U.S. Open bets tomorrow. Yeah, do not let me forget Finau. I still like Shane Lowry. We'll do that tomorrow. Stay the hell away from Tiger. Oh, boosted for Brooks to win it. 24.91. Can I get you a little golf action just quick here? Here we go. U.S. Open, baby. Boosts. Oh, healthy. Rahm. Will there be a playoff at the U.S. Open, Ryan? Plus 360. Tiger Woods to make the cut is plus 220. Well, I like this a lot. Will there be a hole-in-one at any point of the tournament? Plus 111. That's even money on that. I like that. At some point, somebody's got to dunk one in. Let's go. Code Fontana150. Get signed up with Tipico. Get going for the golf this weekend. Get going for all of it with our friends at Tipico. Flip over to football. I wanted to bring this up just because, so Kevin Stefanski, he was on the Rich Eisen show last week. There's a little dated at this point. But he talked to Rich about, getting Deshaun Watson back to the level that he expects. And he said, I'm just going to read through it quick. He said, we always talk about how we want the best version of ourselves. I want the best version of Deshaun. He's constantly getting better. I see so many veterans, as you know, Rich, as he says, every single year you challenge them to get better. Even the guys at the height of their craft. Look at Myles Garrett, who's coming up Defensive Player of the Year. He will be challenged by us. And I know he does this to himself. He needs to get better. There are things that he can do. Deshaun is in the same boat. He wants to be better. He wants to play better every single game, every year. I'm excited for where he's at this minute with plenty of work to do. I know he's going to continue to get better and healthy, but I'm excited about Deshaun. That was Kevin Stefanski on the Rich Eisen show. That's a lot of coach speak. That's a lot of Kevin Stefanski not giving you anything. Yeah, well, you mean everybody expect him to be the best. But I think it's this continued path that I think is right, the pressure that has got to be on Deshaun Watson. You know how I feel. This year has to be the year. I want to hear that from Kevin Stefanski and the Cleveland Browns. I don't want them to give the out, the pass of like, well, this. And again, however this season plays out, I don't even want to think about it. But a lot can change during the season. Somebody gets hurt, weird things happen, and you will take a look at the totality of the season when it's all said and done. What I have to have at the end of this, no matter what, is an answer on Deshaun Watson. That's it. That's how I feel. I'm not going to say more important than winning, but it's damn close. And to hear things, just the vibe that I'm getting from Stefanski and the Browns, they feel the same way. What we just need to figure out is if you can get close to being the player that you were. You don't have to be that guy, but you got to show us something this year that you're back on the right path. And if it's not, we're going to have a really weird offseason, and it's going to be full of a lot of just angst and worry. But we enter this season, it's all out in front of you. This is it. This will tell the tale. So hearing that from the Browns and hearing that from Stefanski, I'm glad that they're taking that tact, Ryan. I'm glad that they are looking at it from that standpoint, that this has to be it. Because it'd be easy for them to say, oh, all this other stuff, extending winning circumstance, all this other bull crap. Nope, this year is it. This year is literally everything. And we will, you got 17 games to show it. Hopefully more, but we'll see how that goes. Flip back over to ESPN. A couple things, because we'll run around this too. A lot of these off-season mini camp storylines. So today is mandatory mini camp for the Browns. CBS Sports, their biggest storyline to watch just for mini camp, just to watch for these days of mini camp. They said the split of quarterback reps. Deshaun Watson's obviously the guy, but polarizing signal caller hasn't been throwing on a daily schedule this offseason while returning from injury. Jameis Winston there too. You got DTR back, and of course you have Tyler Huntley, thank you. Not Anthony Brown, the other guy. Tyler Huntley. So they're all here. I think, yes, I want to see him throw, but also, I don't really care. If he's on this injury front, if they're on this plan, we'll see. Now, we flip over to ESPN, and Daniel Oafusi, who's the new, shout out to him, the new NFL Nation reporter for the Cleveland Browns. And his write-up is very similar. Minicamp storyline, how is Deshaun Watson progressing? He writes, Browns starting quarterback's been throwing every other day. He's limited in the voluntary workouts due to his rehab. Browns Kevin Stefanski said Watson's level of participation in minicamp will be decided by the medical team. Coaches and players have praised Watson's work, even if he's had to mainly take mental reps on his off days. With Watson's full complement of pass catchers expected to be in attendance, it's going to help the offense incorporating a new scheme as he increases his activity. It's what we all knew. Keep an eye on him. You don't have to worry about who's showing up or who's not. Nobody needs, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah might, but he's not. Everybody's there. You're off to the races. Good. And eyes on Deshaun Watson to see how much he throws and not. So I thought just seeing those two similar things are there. You want to run through the other teams in the AFC North just to see?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's just do ESPN here. Ben Baby, Cincinnati, is Joe Burrow back on track? Now, when we did this the other day, it wasn't about Burrow. It was about T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. By the way, T. Higgins showed up this morning. You and I felt the same thing, Ben Baby writes. Burrow will be closely monitored after Cincinnati decided to give him rest days as he recovers from his right wrist surgery. While that's not alarming, it is notable given Burrow's workload in the previous years. Burrow notes he needs the balance of preparation for the upcoming season while still being healthy and sustainable workload that his body can manage successfully. That's Cincinnati. We go up to Baltimore. Same thing we read the other day. What's their offensive line going to look like? That came from Jamison Hensley, and we scroll on down to Pittsburgh. Will Justin Fields get any first-team reps? That's a damn good question from Brooke Pryor. Brooke's the best. She's so good at covering the Steelers. Do you think he gets first-team reps? Do you think they even open that Pandora's box of him taking first-team reps? By the way, shout out to Mike Tomlin. Man, there are some Steelers fans pissed off today.
Unreal.
I don't get why they hate him so much.
I don't either.
I like Mike Tomlin. He's a really good coach. Zach Taylor aside, but I have a lot of respect for John Harbaugh. I have a lot of respect for Mike Tomlin. I think they're both really good at what they do. But they signed him to an extension yesterday, and there's a good chunk of Steelers fans that just hate this. I don't know why. Would you give Fields first-team reps just to kind of...
I don't see the
poke Russ Wilson a little
harm
bit
in it. If both of your quarterbacks next year aren't under your control, you got to figure out if Fields could be your future at some point. obviously, I think Russell Wilson's going to be the one trotting out there week 1. But let's say it goes belly up. I mean, what's stopping them from putting Fields in?
Well, that's the thing that you want. I mean, you picture it this way. If things go bad for the Steelers, there will be that announcer from Mike Tomlin on a Monday that goes, we're making a change at quarterback. And that's something to keep Russ honest. There is no future with either one of these guys secured, right?
Yeah.
Russell Wilson goes out and plays well, a fear I kind of have under Arthur Smith, then they'll sign him to extension, right? But you got to keep him, honest is the wrong word, but like you got to keep him pushed. Is Justin Fields enough, or, excuse me, is it more of just Russell Wilson looks at him and just goes, yeah, man, I know he ain't going to play. And I know you ain't going to play him unless I play really bad.
I don't know. I mean,
like, I have no threat. If I'm Russell Wilson, I'm like, do what you want, but I have no threat from Justin Fields. Give him
I don't know.
reps.
I wouldn't say that.
I have no threat.
I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't. We go back to NFL.com because I thought the Browns might be on this list. So Kevin Patra wrote, the best new quarterback wide receiver duos. Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow doesn't count. It's got to be a new quarterback with a new receiver. Now, I thought Deshaun Watson, Jerry Jeudy might crack this list. I will tell you, Ryan, they didn't. So when I run through it, I want you to think if anybody would be better or you would take Watson and Jeudy over this list. Okay, you ready? We start with the list of veteran combos, players that it's not a rookie quarterback, rookie receiver.
Sure.
Number 1 rank, C.J. Stroud, Stephon Diggs. I think that's pretty right on.
Yeah.
Number 2, Kirk Cousins, Drake London. London was already there. They get Kirk Cousins. Number 3, Patrick Mahomes, Marquise Hollywood Brown. You're high on that one. You like that one from Kansas City. That's 3. Number 4, Aaron Rodgers, Mike Williams with the Jets. And number 5, which is why I have an issue with this, Russell Wilson / Justin Fields, George Pickens.
No,
Deshaun Watson and Jerry Jeudy are better than that, okay? I like George Pickens, fine. You want to say that Pickens and Jeudy are even on the same level. Here I am getting angry, right? I guess people would yell at me and be like, what makes you think Deshaun Watson is ahead of Russell Wilson all of a sudden?
It's a fair question.
I hate to say that it's actually a fair question, and I shouldn't be as angry as I am. I should not be that angry because they're 5 on this list, and by God, maybe they actually are better.
I mean, for what you expected when you made the trade, that shouldn't even be a thought that we would be on that same level. But given of what they've seen these last couple of years and a mixture of Deshaun has barely played and you factor in Jerry Jeudy, maybe not all his fault. It's a bad situation there in Denver, but it's 2 guys that have easily failed expectations. And George Pickens is a decent player. And then also Russell Wilson, he was okay in Denver last year, and we know what he's capable of. So I don't have a problem with it, but yeah, in reality, it shouldn't even be close.
No, I kind of agree with you, but I thought that maybe they'd be a part of that. All right, to the rookie list of best new quarterback wide receiver duos, obviously the Browns are not going to be a part of this. Number 1, Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr. That's a pretty good list. Number 2, Caleb Williams, DJ Moore. Number 3, Josh Allen, Keon Coleman. Number 4, J.J. McCarthy, Justin Jefferson. I thought that might be a little higher on the list, to be honest with you. And number 5, Jaden Daniels and Scary Terry McLaurin. Those are again, of a rookie receiver or a rookie quarterback on that list. Again, I thought maybe J.J. McCarthy, Justin Jefferson would be a little bit higher because he is, and I like Marvin Harrison, but Justin Jefferson's the best receiver in the game and the best receiver on this list. I thought I'd bump him up just a little bit. All right, want to dive back into our 2 for Tuesday. Our second 2 for Tuesday we have to post here in a second. We'll get to that. But Ryan, our first one is up. If you were Dan Hurley, would you have taken that Lakers job? It was overwhelmingly no. A little bit earlier, are we still there?
We are still there. 86.2% say no. 13.8% say they would have gone to L.A.
All right, there it is. This is another report from ESPN. Evan Seardy of Forbes. Borrego and Atkinson will visit Cleveland this week as finalists for the head coaching job per Brian Windhorst. So this is from Windy this morning. Actually, let me click on this here. All right. Windy, when did he put this in here? This is all a bunch of Lakers stuff going in for, I don't see anything on there from Windy about the Cavs anyway. Yeah, interesting. Okay, I mean, well, I'm shooting from the hip here. Because that's really, I didn't vet this. It's from Windy. And you know how pissed he gets. Getting aggregated. All right, Atkinson Borrego. That is in no way a shock at all. If they really are the finalists, they're coming back for the interview. Great. Get those interviews done. Hire one of those two guys. Do you have a fear of Borrego going to LA? Do you think that's not even a thing? You don't got to worry about it?
I mean, it just comes down to I don't know what he's thinking because I could make an argument. Outside of LA being LA, I think Cleveland's the better job. But I can't just discount that it's LA.
So Mark Stein said Borrego is scheduled to meet with the Cavs about their head coaching vacancy today, which we talked about earlier. Also, there's a report from Stein that ex-Cavs assistant Greg Buckner is going to go join Doc Rivers' staff. We know Darvin Ham went there yesterday. And I'm sure JB will get a job somewhere at some point. But the Cavs seem to be kind of zeroing in. All right, our second two for Tuesday. This started because this morning was ungodly cold for the middle of June.
It was a little cold.
It was a little cold. It was a little cold yesterday. We need to come up with the right value on this.
You said 60 originally?
I think 65.
I think 70.
No, 70's too high, I think. I think 65.
But I think 70 is the perfect temperature.
So you would go over. The question is, if forever you could only pick that the temperature is over or under.
60's too low. 100%.
Okay, so do you want to just split it and go 65 then?
Sure. Do you think 70 is like hot?
No, I usually think 80. 80 gets to be hot.
I would say, I would say like 72 because we're talking about outside.
Yeah, right. You get to pick one temperature forever. Would you rather go over or under? You want to do 70? Do 70. That's fine. Okay. Do 70. Do 70. You get it forever. You're either over or under 70 degrees. What would you pick? Not in your house, like outside. So you weigh. A lot of people say, I hate the cold. I hate the winter. Fine. But you miss out on those fall days, those crisp 55-degree overcast fall days, which are my favorite days. But then you lose 83 degrees sitting out there at the beach enjoying a cocktail around the boat. That's what it is. You only get one or the other. Over under 70 degrees for the rest of your life. Which one would you pick?
Easy for me.
Over.
I love when it's warm outside. I could live in Florida. It could be
Golf.
90 degrees out, and I'm just chilling.
But then it's like ungodly. See, I've been to Florida, and I got done, and I go, I could never live here. I could never. Now, Arizona. You ever been to Arizona?
No, my mom's
that
there
dry
right now,
heat,
actually.
though, everybody talks
she
about.
She texted me. She landed yesterday, actually. And
Yeah.
It was 110.
Yeah, but everybody else, it doesn't feel like it's 110. No, Arizona is very nice. The dry helps. The mugginess of Florida, just that, no.
It's not the temperature. It's the humidity.
It's the humidity that'll get you. Plus, and I know there's a lot of snakes in Arizona. I don't want to live anywhere that has alligators. There's something, and I've been places, I've been on golf courses before that have alligators. I'm good, man. I'm good. So, like, my wife's family, and we had vacation in South Carolina, a place called Kiowa. And there are gators everywhere, right? And we'd go sometimes, usually in May, and I'd go golf. And the last time we went, we had the kids. And even to walk to the beach, right? We'd have to walk over a bridge, but you're still like walking through like plants. And I would always just be like, is there a gator in there? Are they going to jump out and get me? I mean, you hear stories, dogs and people going to get the dog. I don't know if I could live somewhere for an extended period of time that has alligators all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't mess with that, man. And then Florida with these freaking snakes, the invasive iguanas. You follow that Python cowboy on Instagram?
Is that when they kill him for money?
Yeah, he's like, his job is to eradicate these things. And he's in there, he's catching snakes, he's catching the iguanas, he's doing gator control. Absolutely not. No. So I scratched Florida right off the list.
Let me ask you this. Would you rather live where you have to deal with snakes all the time or cicadas?
Oh, cicadas. I hate snakes too.
Oh,
like,
I'm going
we deal with the
snakes.
mayflies. We deal with the midges. Like, it is what it is.
Cicadas are the worst.
I mean, we hear them here. They always come back every so often or whatever. I don't know. Snakes, no. So Florida, I'm not. So talking about our temperature thing, where Florida is almost always, that temperature. I'll take Arizona over it. So again, if you could only pick forever, which one would you pick above or below 70? I don't know, man. I just talking about the fall. Fall's my favorite time of the year. 55, golf.
Angelo says over 70, not a question.
Not a question. Is
I
this going to
agree.
be like our first poll? It's going to be like 90-10 the other way around? It's going to be completely the other way. Everybody goes over? Well, we put it out. We'll see what people say. Vote on that. At Matt Fontana Show. All right, coming up, we got the morning update. We'll dive into the grid today. We're on this streak, man.
Yeah, we are.
We get to the end of the week. We're perfect. We'll do a giveaway with that coming up as well. Our bets are up on Tipico. Use that code Fontana150 and go drop a follow. Big Play Horse on Twitter. Tonight, big day. We got The Return with Josh and Maria Cribbs. And we'll also have Enter the Jungle, James Rapine and crew. They'll just cry. Well, they can't cry anymore. T. Higgins is there. They can't got anything to complain about. T. Higgins is there for their off-season voluntary work. Or no, this is mandatory now. Mandatory now. So go check that out tonight. Big Play is where it's at, folks. Follow us on Twitter, just at Big Play. And check our website out for all of our merch, for all of our T-shirts. Stephen Kwan has a brand new T-shirt of ours. When's the horse merch come?
Good question.
We got the horse. Let's get some merch going. Got it. Got to have it. So we'll get that all going. BigPlay.com. I'm watching Tiger on a practice round, man. Do you think he's going to make the cut? Do you think he's going to make the cut?
Who knows?
I think he knows.
I think no.
I don't think he makes it either. I don't think he makes it either. We'll get to our bets. I'm super excited for that tomorrow with Tipico. We got to get a golfing show here. Dave's a big golfer. I'm a golfer. Bruce. We'll do it. When can we make your own announcement, by the way? You know what I'm talking about.
I don't. Which one? Oh, I don't know.
When's that coming?
I don't know. It's up and running.
I know when it's coming. I know the date. When's that announcement happening?
Oh, you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't want to spoil things, but speaking of golf, we'll get to that one day.
With
maybe.
a very, very special guest.
Oh, I knew you'd be excited about that. I knew you'd be excited about that.
I gotta.
She'll be here, man.
I gotta figure out what I'm gonna wear.
You really gonna go impress?
Well, who would I be if I didn't?
Paige Spiranek?
Who would I be if I at least didn't try?
I guess you got to shoot your shot.
I've seen some ugly looking dudes with some fine women. So,
Are you gonna impress her with your golf game or with your wit and humor?
Let's see. I'm not good at golf. I'm not rich.
Yet.
I live
Wait till
with,
this takes off, buddy.
I still live with my mom. What else do I?
Money.
What
That's
else
a
do I have
financial
going for
smart
me?
man right there. Financially smart man.
Let me
right
ask
there.
you that, Matt, if
What?
you don't mind. When,
Sure.
Because how long did you live with your parents?
I moved out
It's
my
im-
senior year of
it's im-
college
it's
and never went back.
impossible
Well, no, I
nowadays.
lived in a different time, man. I had apartments for $400.
impossible
Yeah, now
nowadays,
you
dude.
can't. So
I go to the grocery store and I'm dropping $200
Yeah.
to eat for a week.
So here's what happened with me. I commuted to college for 3 years. It was only a 20-minute ride, right? So then my senior year, my buddies got a house. My rent was, I think, $200. That was it. And I lived in that house my senior year and then a year after college because all my friends were graduating the next year. After that, I moved into an apartment with my buddy Mike. After that, I moved into an apartment with my buddy Jordan. Moved out of the apartment with Jordan, lived in a house with 2 people for a year, which was just hell. And then Steph and I moved into an apartment downtown. We lived in an apartment downtown for a year and then bought our house. And so at that point, we paid, I think, $1,200 a month between Steph and I for our
That's so
apartment
nice.
downtown.
That's nice.
You can't find that anymore.
That's one person.
No, that's right.
nowadays.
And well, no, it was a 1-bedroom, but it was the 2 of us.
Yeah.
And then we bought our house. And even then, at our house, we have a 2.7% interest on our mortgage. That ain't happening anymore.
That's really good.
Yeah, my brothers live in apartments, and they're paying $800, $1,000 a month for nice apartments. I'm not saying they're crap apartments, but like, yeah, man, it's really hard. Here's what I would highly recommend to you: is do what you're doing now, and especially, I'm not trying to pry in your personal life.
Yeah.
If you can handle it, keep doing it.
I mean, I can handle it. I can do whatever I want.
I love my parents, but there were 7 people in our house.
Yeah, it's just me and my mom.
And I was like, time for me to get and again, like I left, and it's not like I would never go back. Like if I needed to go show up my parents' house today, I'd go back. But like there was a lot of people in our house. I was like, it's time for me to go. I'm sure they were happy. My brothers were ecstatic. They finally got their own room. No joke, my brothers were 18 years old sharing rooms because there were 5 of us.
Damn.
You know the only one that got their own room for all of their life? Me, because I was the oldest. Take that. But, you know, and now eventually they've all moved out. My parents are basically empty nesters at this point. So as long as you can handle it, keep doing it because you're going to save that money. And then you get wrapped up in like people buying a house or, equity. I would tell you this. If you find a friend that you're willing, and they say don't ever live with your friends. I've actually had really good experiences. Jordan, my buddy Jordan's one of my best friends. We lived together for a year and it was awesome because we're both normal people. I didn't scam him out of the rent. I didn't yell at him about leaving his dishes out. He didn't give me crap for stealing his NCAA game off his PlayStation so I could play. You live with it, right? But I would recommend this to you. Go get an apartment if you could do downtown, man. That was one of the most fun years of my life.
Yeah, I would like to at one point in my life.
And just find it with somebody that you're on the up and up with. People always say about not living with your spouse beforehand. I don't think that was a big problem, for Steph and I. We lived together the apartment was 1 year, and we were in a house for almost 2 years. We lived together for almost 3 years. We were together for 5 years before we got engaged. And we lived together for 3 of them. So I think that's a good little primer to see if this works, and obviously it did. So if you find that special person, if it's Paige sporadic, then so be it. She'll pay for the apartment. I would recommend to you, though, if you can, and be financial, because I will tell you this, and I can say this now, I went into debt living in that apartment.
Yeah.
And it was debt that took me a long time to get out of. And I did, and I'm very thankful that I did. But if you can find it and make it, or, dude, go to like West 25th. Like, I think as a young person, and what are you, 22? 23. Don't do it now. Do it when you're 25.
I don't have a choice.
Just have that goal. Oh, okay. So it eventually will get there. Just say, dude, I'm telling you now, bank as much money as you can. Just save as much as you can. I know. Trust me, it ain't easy out there. I know it's not. Bank as much as you can and get that where when you move into the apartment, I mean, ideally, it'd be great where you could say, I've got enough money put away. I don't even need to work. Like, I've got enough money to pay for this apartment because think about it this way. If you found $1,000 apartment, it's a $2,000 apartment that you split with your buddy, bank $12,000. And then the money that you're making while you're still working, you don't have to work. Because the other thing that you won't think about that I learned the hard way, you're eating out downtown all the time. It's more expensive. Like groceries are more expensive down there. Like, and again, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
My wife Eagle's robbing me.
I know. My wife and I, that was one. Wouldn't trade it for the world, but it was not cheap. God, I miss that apartment. God, I miss that. I've talked to her about that. And granted, we're 35 years old. Like, we have plenty of time to go. Like, empty nesters. I told her, I go, when we're 65 and we retire, we're going back downtown for a year. Go to Playhouse all the time. Get the season pass to Playhouse. Go sit there and eat at Flannery's all the time. God, I miss that.
That's the problem too, because that's where you can meet people.
Downtown and about. Well, the other thing about why it's really great, and we were about your age. We were like 26 when we did that. You then become the hub for the rest of your friends. Yeah. Because you're downtown. And we had so we did it the year the Cavs won the championship. Great year to do it. The day of the parade, I opened the door to my apartment. I wasn't even home. Like I let my brother in, and there was 10 people, and they go, who are these people? And they're like, oh, this is my buddy. This is his friend. I'm like, all right, fine. Like, nobody steal anything, but whatever. But you become a nice hub for a lot of your friends and your family because you're downtown, and that's just a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. I don't know what your buddies, hey, man, I'm coming down. We're going to go out tonight. Like, let's do it. But it gets expensive.
Oh, yeah.
So save your money. I would tell you this. When you get $12,000 in savings, which I know is a lot, get the 12. Do you have a potential buddy that you could do that with?
I'm sure, yeah.
Find somebody? Because you get them on that lease, man. It ain't no, and I'll tell you this. Can I give you one other piece of advice for it? Do not ever do that. I'll cover your rent this month. No, don't do it. Don't do that. That gets dicey with people and friends, man. Oh, I'll cover you this month. I'll get you next month. Well, why don't you have the money this month? Yeah. Like,
no, I would move in
put
with
both of those
sensible
names on that
lease.
list.
There's certainly people that I know, my friends, I would never live with.
Right. There are friends. They're your friends. You love them, but you're like, I can't live with that person. I just can't do that. So be smart about it. All right, let's get to the morning update. We'll get to the grid. Just more names of the horse. That one is not. You don't want to see that at Churchill Downs, buddy. We're not doing it. And down the stretch they come for big. Nope, not doing that. Bracket, grid, timeout, all of it. Next, stay with us.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just, that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. And you saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds. The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone, and at even odds. If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today, all right? Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party. Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Typical Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
All right, welcome back. Fontana Show right here. Twitter. Follow us at Matt Fontana Show. We're up on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Also on Twitch. And you can follow the Instagram at Matt Fontana Show for all the clips from said show. We got Guards tonight. We got a little Cavs. We got it all. Ryan, please take it away.
All right, well, the Guardians are heading down south to the great city of Cincinnati.
The Queen City, is it not?
As they take on the Reds in the Battle of Ohio. Tristan McKenzie gets the nod tonight for the Reds. It's Brent Suter. Guardians open up as a 1.5-point favorite. Run favorite, I should say.
Run favorite. The Reds are playing hot right now, which is great. The Guardians, I got to tell you, my interest now has become a little bit of this Daniel Schneemann. I'm starting to give him the Arias at bats, man. Zardo, I'm at this point in the season where I know my for sures. I know my guys that are hitting. There's some just intrigue everywhere else. I don't know if you had this. I don't mean to jump the gun here. What's up with Ben Lively? What happened? So he came back. He got tests, but he's back with the team already. Yeah, and nobody said what it was. He just said he started to tighten up.
I don't know, but Hoynes said he's coming. He's meeting the team.
He's back, yeah. So that gets you nervous. That gets you worried about what's going on. The other thing tonight, and he's in our boost because we need the good mo for him, is Tristan McKenzie, man. And it's the walks and the bombs. It's the walks and the home runs. That's what he's got to stay away from. I know he's got good stuff, and I look at his month of May, and you won most of the games that he started, but it's just you had to overcome. I'm waiting for that breakout game that he goes 6 scoreless innings and strikes out 7. I hope it's tonight. I really hope it's tonight. Because that balance, too, I thought about this question. Who do you think is the most important player for the Guardians to make a trade? And you get what I'm saying? Is it Tristan McKenzie? Is Tristan McKenzie your teeter point? Where if he shows you something, you feel less obligated to make a move. Where if he sucks, you're like, all right, I can't make this. My buddy Nick sent me a trade proposal yesterday. It was that lefty kid out of Miami. And it was like Espino, Jason Chourio, which I don't want to give him up, and somebody else. I'm like, like Logan Allen. Do you look at Logan Allen and say if he pitches a little better, that sways us toward, is it Gavin Williams? Will you not do anything until you get Gavin Williams back? The thing is, clock is ticking. Are we not less than a month away from the trade deadline?
I believe we are.
Date. July 3rd. Oh, no, we got a month and a half. July 30th? I thought it was the first part of July. July 30th. But there's... I don't know. You know, that's they have a month. They have basically 2 months, month and a half now. And they're going to look at some of these guys and say, are we more apt to make a move because McKenzie is struggling or because this guy's struggling? For me, I want to move tomorrow to get somebody in here now, for to win some of these games. But get after it against Cincinnati. They're not a rollover team. I'm looking forward to a good baseball game tonight.
All right, well, the Cavaliers are still looking for their next head coach. It was reported earlier that they're meeting again with James Borrego, and it came out that potentially him and Kenny Atkinson are the two finalists to replace J.B. Bickerstaff.
And that's, I go hire one of these guys. Go hire one of these guys. If it is Borrego, and again, from the start to know that it was Borrego and Atkinson 1-2 for your interviews, you felt like, okay, these guys are the leader in the clubhouse. And I do like how they approached it. Interview your top guys first, and then go through the rest of them to see, is anybody going to knock one of these two guys off the pedestal? Start with your known, then go through everybody else. So I like it's those two guys. I would honestly take either one of them. I think I'm leaning a little more towards Borrego now. But I started this whole thing saying, oh, yeah, I wanted Kenny Atkinson. But at this point, I'll take either one.
Sorry, I'm just reading this crazy story. We'll get to it last. You're going to like that one. Anyway, we talked about this at length this morning, but Dan Hurley did, in fact, turn down the Lakers' 6-year, $70 million offer to remain at UConn as a chance to go back-to-back-to-back. The first time since the great John Wooden and the UCLA Bruins.
I don't know how you turn that down. Just knowing that you were going to get a lot of money. I'm not saying he's not getting a lot of money at UConn. You can always go back to UConn. And I guess you could say, well, he could always go back to the NBA. The NBA will keep calling. And while he's building something special here, I guess it's hard to walk away from back-to-back with an opportunity to win 3. I would say this. I probably would take the field. Like, if you're talking about UConn versus the field, I'll take the field. Like, they're losing a lot off of that team. But, hey, man, something special, and it's going to take a giant fall-off. It would take a giant fall-off for him to lose that job in UConn. So I'm shocked. Not the move I would have made, but I guess that's why I'm not Dan Hurley.
All right, well, the Florida Panthers defeat the Edmonton Oilers 4-1 as they take a 2-0 lead in the Stanley Cup Final. Game 3 scheduled for 8 o'clock on Thursday. Edmonton opens as a slight favorite as the series shifts to them.
Yeah, they're back home. It was 1-0. I was like, all right. And then they scored, and then the floodgates just opened. We missed our boost because Bobrovsky actually did not have enough saves, and Verhaeghe didn't score a point. How crazy is that? They scored 4 goals, and Verhaeghe was not a part of them. So our boost just missed yesterday. It's been a lot of fun to watch, man. It's been a lot. It's just been playoff hockey's the best. Stanley Cup final hockey is the best. So it's been exciting to watch. I think I'm kind of rooting for the Panthers. I put money on them again last night. So a win there. Can't beat it.
Matt, is there anything, would you ever name your kid over an athlete or
I think I saw this story
or anything
about.
Like that?
No, my son is named after, in part, me, my father, and then my dad's grandfather.
Would you ever consider naming a kid after a restaurant?
Not Golden Corral.
All righty, well, it came out. An Arkansas woman who did not know she was pregnant gave birth to a healthy baby boy.
Those stories are always
at a Golden
so
Corral
scary,
restaurant.
though, man. Like, going through 2 kids and seeing what my wife had to do, and any mom out there, like the prenatal care, the importance, the scary stuff that could happen, like, how do you not know, man? Well, okay, I'm hoping the kid's okay, right?
I believe so. Well, her name is Tavia, and Tavia did not realize she was 37 weeks pregnant in active labor. She experienced what is called a cryptic pregnancy. According to the Cleveland Clinic, a cryptic pregnancy is when a person is unaware they are pregnant. Well, she did, in fact, give birth to a baby boy whose name is Tamar Kylon Coral Woodfork.
Do you then get Golden Corral for life?
You should.
Because that's kind of what you're doing. If you're going to name your son after the restaurant that he was born into, you would believe, like, they get food for life. Did this not happen somewhere else, though? And I think the restaurant came back with, this person has a job. When they turn 16, we're not going to give them food for life, but we'll give them a job forever. Like something like that. I think that happened at another restaurant. The question is, if you had to birth a kid at a restaurant so they could get food for life, what restaurant would you pick?
Oh, good question.
Would you name your daughter Chipotle?
That'd be good to have that every day for free.
You could call her Chi for short. Chi. Chip.
Chip.
I get if you have a son, Chip's not an outlandish male name.
Now, what do you do if you're that golden
What's their
corral
name?
and you're
Chip.
like,
Polte.
yeah, there was just a baby born in this bathroom. I got to imagine you got to like sanitize everything.
Oh, if a baby is born in there, the bathroom's not the worry. It's the kid that's coming out that you're like, what environment? There's stories about, people going to labor in the car, home deliveries, all that kind of crazy stuff. She have video of that lady that gave birth to her son or child in the ocean. There's those nature people out there, and she literally walks into the ocean. The waves are crashing, and she gives birth into the waves.
Like, was she not showing a bump?
No,
No, I'm talking about this one at Golden Corral.
late? I don't know, man.
You know?
I don't know. I mean, there are people that, like, every sign tells you they're pregnant and they just want to believe that they're not, and then they go that route, which can be bad. Assuming if they maybe were a little overweight, then you couldn't tell. I don't know. I experienced it as a father and a husband, watching my wife go through it, and you could very clearly tell my wife, like, watching that, within a month of looking at somebody, if they could tell, like, the bump.
I don't think I could watch live birth. I don't think I could do it.
The one I stayed north of the sheet. The other one I was right there. Our son was our son was an emergency C-section. So that I stayed north of the sheet because that's like major surgery. Our daughter,
heebie-jeebies.
I was right there for it, buddy.
Nope.
Right there for it. And the strength that any woman would go through to do that, I'd die. Like, there's no, like, literally watching that, it is one of the most beautiful things you could ever see. It is the most amazing thing when you see your son or daughter come into the world. It's insane. It is absolutely insane what a woman's body can do to birth a child. And modern medicine, all this stuff, the stuff that they catch, God bless modern medicine. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. You know what else is nuts? You want to get nuts? Let's do it. I like the only one team thing, because it works out well for us on the rookies. So here it is, the grid, day 2. We get it today. We're on a streak. We get on a 5-day streak and not missing one. We're doing a giveaway here on the show. You know how it works. Up and down, left and right. Players had to have played at least one game for each of those teams. Only one team. Go!
All right, I'm going to do Pat Surtain.
Sure. The second.
You don't like abbreviations, I guess?
Patrick Surtain the second.
Zay Flower.
Or Lamar. Yeah.
Patty.
Yep. Or Kelsey. All right. I feel like something Denver Buccaneers is speaking to me on this. John Lynch. That's why. John Lynch. Yeah, that's it.
Buccaneers, Denver?
Yep. I'm not even going to Google it. It's John Lynch. I know it's John Lynch. Okay. Okay, again, speaking to me is the Buccaneers and the Ravens. And I feel like it's a defensive lineman. Not Kyle Van Noy, not Calais Campbell, who's usually, like, you think of him with Jacksonville. That doesn't work there. There's something speaking to me with Tampa, but I don't know what it is. All right, move off of that.
Tampa and Kansas City.
I mean, they run through so many receivers. Did Cole Beasley play in Tampa, and then did he also play with Baltimore? I'm going back to Baltimore for a second. Sorry, I don't think so. It doesn't speak. It's not. Okay. Quarterbacks: Baker, no. Brady, no. Does Brad Johnson not work for Tampa Bay and Baltimore?
No idea.
He does not, so I'm glad I didn't do that one. But you know who does? Trent Dilfer. Right? Trent Dilfer?
I cannot
Anybody?
confirm nor deny that.
Trent Dilfer, Tampa, Baltimore. Tampa, Baltimore, Trent Dilfer. Yes. Okay. Kansas City. Doug Martin, the muscle hamster. Remember him?
Did he play for Kansas City?
I don't remember. I don't think so. Juwan Taylor was in Jacksonville.
Well, Kansas City, Washington. Alex Smith.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yep. Yeah, let's focus over there for a second. Okay. Baltimore, Washington. Oh, the quarterback. Oh, my God. Not Josh Johnson. Actually, it might be Josh Johnson. Oh, my God. Yeah, maybe rip Josh Johnson there. Again, I know for a fact he played in Baltimore. Yeah, Josh Johnson works. Yep. Okay. Denver, Washington. Washington always usually gives us problems here. Denver, Washington. Not Brandon Sheriff, right? No. He was there forever. Dude, you want to know another one that I just thought of? Is he was just with the Browns. Wes Schweitzer. Remember him? So I know he played for the Washington. But no, he never played with the Denver. No. No, not Wes Schweitzer. There's a lineman here that we're missing. There's also probably a lot of legacy type players. You know what I mean? Like, did Terrell Davis? Shannon Sharp? Again, I hate when I Google. Vernon Davis?
Did he play for the Broncos?
I don't know. Check the YouTube comments. See what we got there. Check the YouTube. Circling that around right now.
Clinton Portis?
Clinton Portis works.
Is that the one?
Yes. Clinton Portis works. Thank you for... That's for that one. Yep, that's that one. Clinton Portis. Done. All right, Bucks, Chiefs.
And then I think...
Did you have another one?
What do we need? Bucks, Chiefs?
Bucks, Chiefs.
Angelo says Ryan Suckup.
That sounds good to me.
Did he kick for the Chiefs?
I'll listen to it.
This one's on Angelo.
All right, I'm fine with it. Let's roll. Yeah,
Wow,
nice.
wow.
Let's go. All right, 2 in a row.
Is there any you'd like to see?
Just scroll down to the most popular ones.
Clinton Portis, John Lynch, John Elway, Lamar Jackson.
John Elway worked for what?
Only one team.
Oh, only one team.
Trent Dilfer. RG3 for Baltimore, Washington.
That's another damn good one.
Alex
Right,
Smith,
yes.
Mahomes,
That,
and then
you want to know
LaShawn
what?
McCoy.
RG3 is exactly who I was thinking of. Oh, sorry. Who's the other one?
LaShawn McCoy for Chiefs Bucks.
Oh, that's a good pull there, too. That's a good pull. Yeah, RG3 was exactly who I was thinking of there. That's it. That was it. So well done on that. All right. Number 2 on the week is done and dusted. Do you know the city of Cleveland is shut down right now because of a cyber incident? Did you see Buster Olney yesterday get hacked?
I did.
So they're working on it today. City Hall has been shut down for the second day in a row after a cyber incident shut down City Hall. City is still not releasing many details about what happened and all that was affected. I mean, at this point, because I also thought about this for our other 2 for Tuesday. Ryan, have you ever been hacked before?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I've had my Instagram hacked.
I have never. Okay, so here's the thing. I have had, I've never been hacked on social media. I left my Facebook open and my idiot friends would, post stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. I've never been hacked on social media, but I have been hacked, for my bank. My social security number is on the dark web. I know it is. Cleveland City Hall and interview offices are closed for a second day as officials investigate a cyber event. Mayor Justin Bibb confirmed the breach, but assured residents that basic city services, including police, fire, EMS, public works, and utilities, and the airport are all operational. He said, We continue to investigate the nature and scope of this incident. What we do know certain is city data is currently unaffected. That includes taxpayer information and customer information held by public utilities, he said in a briefing yesterday. The city's information technology commissioner, explained that abnormalities in the city's IT environment were discovered on Saturday. She would not elaborate on the specific threat or nor what systems were impacted, saying they're continuing their investigation and we don't want to compromise it. Mayor Bibb stressed we're using every resource we possibly can to contain, manage, and alleviate the threat to get business back to usual. Think about that. Like, you and I, if you want, like, you pay for Norton antivirus, right? Think about it on a global scale. Like, think about it on, they hacked a government bit, like, that's still a business. Do you want to know the thing that I keep coming back to? That our lives are still dominated by 9 digits. You still have a social security number that is, why do we not go to the face stuff? Why do we not go to the thumbprint? They all have it. The government's got, I'm not hiding anything. You investigate me for whatever you want. I don't want my stuff. Like, dude, last year I got an email that said somebody opened up a Home Depot account for me in Michigan. And I go, nice. Why would you think that I would be in Michigan opening a Home Depot account? Like, that doesn't raise a red flag. It's kind of scary when you think about all that. The fact that, like, it's still just, they need your address, your phone number, your date of birth, and your social security number. All that information for me is out on the dark web.
Oh, yeah.
I had to put an alert on to tell the government and tell Experian, do not let any new accounts open. I went to go buy my car last year. The hoops that me as the actual person had to jump through to actually just purchase a car is absolutely insane to me. Like, we all live in this. They hacked this. We're done. Bank accounts drained. It's just insane. And who are these hackers?
Low life.
Well, not even that. They're just, how many people, you know, they're overseas people, or they're people like attacking the United States. Like, why are they coming after me then?
Do you remember Lizard Squad?
No.
I remember it was like 2014 or 2013. It was like the Christmas of when everybody for Christmas was getting a PS4. And they like hacked Sony and nobody could play online.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Well, I've heard that where they'll hold it hostage and they'll call the company and they go, we'll open it back up, but you got to pay us whatever, you know? Credit cards, people opening credit cards. I got a check in the mail 2 weeks ago from a college that I didn't go to as part of the student loan reimbursement program. Now, what I found, no, because you want to know what? I found out if I cash that, they get information to my bank. Oh, yeah. My bank will kick me out for cashing a fraudulent check.
Yeah.
So I was like, and it was a couple grand. And I was like, I'd like a couple $1,000s, sure, but I ain't going to mess with that. It's just, and the fact, like, you would believe that the world that we live in, what would be the most closely guarded stuff? The government, the banks, the institutions, and they all still just get hacked.
The nuclear codes.
I don't believe those exist.
You don't think so?
No, I don't believe those actually exist.
Why not?
Because I would just like to believe that at some point, I know we have nuclear weapons. I know that. Don't they still have to be a human being that pushes the button?
Or an AI? I don't know.
No, I don't want AI involved. I would like to believe that there's a bunker somewhere next to the nuclear weapons, and there's a guy sitting there named Stan. I don't know. And he's sitting there, and he doesn't push the buttons until he gets confirmation from people. Now, you'd say, well, they could call him, and they could fake him out and all that. No, like, I actually still need a human being. It's not about I log into my app on a phone and I launch a nuclear weapon at somebody. All right? I hope that's not something Joe Biden has.
He just texts.
Good God help us if that's sitting there thinking he's texting some, oh, gee. Wow, look at that firework.
Oh, what this button do?
Damn. I hope that's not the world that we live in. But it's just, and then the people, and you hear about this all the time, about people that, these old people, and they get the phone call, and they go, you have a past parking ticket that's now $500, and you must pay this with Amazon gift cards. Like, oh my God. I feel so bad for those people. I feel so bad. I told you, my wife and I got our bank accounts cleared.
Yeah.
They called us, the fraud department. Weeks of dealing with this. And I had to swear under oath that I didn't know who did this. And I was like, of course I don't. And they go, you'd be surprised. You know, Ryan clears my account out. And I go, I don't know who did this. And you just give me the cash and I get the money back. Like, I just swear I didn't know who did this, that I wasn't engaging this. Did you engage in any activity that would have lent you towards getting hacked? Like, I don't even know how to get on the dark web. Do you know how to get on the dark web? Don't answer that question.
I don't, but I don't think it'd be that hard.
How to get on. I'm Googling this, and I'm going to, they're going to walk right in here, and they're going to say, who are you and what are you doing? This is from Norton. What is the dark web, and how do you get on it? The dark web is a small part of the internet, about 5%, made up of hidden sites that can be only accessed by the Tor browser. You cannot even get to these on conventional web browsers. They use encryption software so their visitors and owners can remain anonymous. Now, the other thing about the dark web is there's like human trafficking on there and stuff like that. Over 2.7 million active users browse the dark web every day, and many do so for legitimate reasons. What do you think? These are the top 3 legitimate reasons to be on the dark web. A, anonymity is the number 1 reason. Okay, why do you need to be anonymous for something? Number 2 is security. And number 3 is curiosity. The dark web has a bad rap, but there are benefits to using it. For example, dissidents who fear political prosecution from their governments might use the dark web to communicate with one another. 71% of dark web users use it for anonymity. Journalists and whistleblowers work together to expose corruption at corporation and government agencies via the dark web. Okay, I can understand.
I can rock with that one.
Other reasons. Citizens of an oppressed or authoritarian say that word.
Totalitarian?
No, authoritarian. Yeah, I'm adding the extra T. Authoritarian. Governments needing to access news sources critical to their governments, which have been blocked by traditional browsers. You're in North Korea, you need to check something out. Political protesters who want to remain anonymous while protesting the actions of their government. Okay, fine. Users seeking medical advice without revealing their identity, and journalists interviewing sources who must remain anonymous. Internet users can also reap the benefits of the dark web, accessing free academic research, ad-free search engines, geo-blocked content, securing cryptocurrency wallets, using social media without government monitoring, finding niche content like a chess game or blogs, and accessing anonymous chat boards. Now, risk and threats of the dark web. Number 1, criminals. There's a chance you will find websites run by criminals selling illegal goods and services. They may seek to exploit you and steal from you. Number 2, breaking the law. People on the dark web, you can be prosecuted for the things that you do there, and it's important to behave in an appropriate and legal manner. Suspicious links. If you click on any of these links on the dark web, there's a good chance you're going to get infected with malware. Number 4, law enforcement. Law enforcement officials operate on the dark web to catch people engaged in criminal activity, as they should. Number 5, viruses. We already talked about that. Number 6, hackers. You can find hacker forums on the dark web, and you can even hire computer hackers to do illegal activities. What if somebody hired people to hack the city of Cleveland? Not surprisingly, a lot of these people would be willing to hack your devices as well. And then what a lot of people get worried about, webcam hijacking.
Yeah, that's scary.
The website and dark web may try to remote administration tool onto your computer called a RAT, remote administration tool, onto your device. This can lead to hijacking your webcam, essentially letting them see what you're up to through your device's camera lens, that we do every day. Smart practice is to cover your webcam with a piece of paper or tape if you're not actually using it. Well, I don't go on the dark web, so I don't care. What can you find on the dark web? You can find legitimate products, basketball shoes, apparel, research papers, but there's also plenty of illegal items. Hacked Netflix accounts, stolen social security numbers, credit card account numbers, firearms, and drugs. You can buy drugs on the dark web?
Sure. Does that surprise you?
Fake passports, fake diplomas to Ivy League schools, and malware. It is not illegal to visit the dark web. However, you face criminal charges if you choose to purchase illegal firearms, drugs, pornography, stolen passwords, hacked credit card informations, and other items. The dark web is also it's also known as the deep web. They're the same thing. So I guess there's 3 levels. The surface web is what we all do. The deep web are email accounts, online banking, subscription services, and then the dark web is the stuff that we're talking about with what they got hacked. It tells you straight up how to do it. It tells you how to do it. You download this Tor browser, and then I wouldn't even know how to navigate. Okay, so they tell you how to navigate here. You should get a VPN to hide where you're at. Don't divulge any of your personal information and avoid clicking on unknown links. Aren't they all unknown? What am I looking at here? It was created in 2000. March 20th, 2000 is the birth date of the dark web. Surprisingly, people credit the U.S. government as creating the dark web to allow spies to communicate with each other anonymously. So on there was some spy stuff. So the city of Cleveland got hacked. They probably could pull up my building permit for my garage, pull up my account for my for First Energy or whatever it is. That's crazy, man. Like, again, you would think things that don't get hacked. You would like to believe there are things that are unhackable, and you realize that's not true. Not in today's day and age. Because you want to know the people that actually are creating the viruses, they're the people that run the virus software companies. You wouldn't need Norton if there wasn't any viruses.
It's like big pharma.
Right, exactly. I don't even know any other, I'm trying to think, Antivast or whatever it's called. You wouldn't need these programs if there weren't viruses. And there's a lot of these people that come to the other side. They're like, oh, I spent 10 years as a hacker.
It's like COVID.
Yeah. Well, you said that, not me. But that's where we're at. All right, let's catch a break. We come back. We should probably put this in Time Hop. City of Cleveland got hacked. But we'll get to Time Hop, including an insane day of movies. I don't think I've ever seen this right. I have 6.
What if I go 6 for 6?
Do you want to say that would count for a day on the grid?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, we'll do that coming up. Important day of birthdays. We'll get to all that. Stay with us. And our bracket, which a lot of people might be a little upset with Ryan leaving out some people, but we'll get to all that coming up next. Stay with us.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yep.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. You saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds. The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone. And at even odds. If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today. All right? Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party. Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Typical Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
let's jump into it. A little bit of timeout. We'll head back here on the 11th of June. Don't forget our bracket for the best director of all time coming up. We'll run through that as well. So we actually head back. Right now, I've got a lot of things recently. To be honest with you, the first thing I have is this day 2010, 14 years ago today. Carlos Santana makes his debut. Not that one, the other one. He makes his debut for the Cleveland Indians. He's he'll be a team Hall of Fame guy. You know what I mean? Like they put CC in. I think him, Victor Martinez, Jose, of course. I hope Jose makes the regular Hall of Fame. That's not a great question. Who do you think the next Guardian to make the Hall of Fame is? Like, I don't think CC's going to go, right?
Jose?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I think
Maybe
Jose.
Kluber.
I think Kluber makes it. 2 Cy Young should get you in. I really do think he should make it. The answer's probably Corey Kluber. But Carlos Santana, he's a great. Again, I think he is one of those guys. Everybody loved him. He played here, came back multiple times. He'll be in the ring. What do they call that? The Guardian. It's not the Ring of Honor. I think it's the Guardians Hall of Fame. I think, right? CC Sabath, Guardians Hall of Fame, because he made it. He's obviously just made it as the 48th member of the Guardians Hall of Fame. So, like, Carlos Santana will make that, right? I think he's deserving of that.
I would say so.
Of, like, hang on.
I mean, multiple stints.
I just want to look this up real quick. Guardians Team History Encyclopedia. Leaders. Thank you. Top 10 career batting. All right. Not batting average. What I was going to look was home runs. Carlos Santana is tied for 6th all-time for Guardians home runs. 216. Bell, Tomey, Ramirez, Earl Averill. He's tied with Hal Trotsky. And I don't know if he'll get passed on that. Doubles, not top 10. Total bases, not top 10. RBIs, not top 10. Walks. He used to walk a lot.
Dude, you want to know a stat?
He's 2nd all-time in walks.
You want to know a fact that'll make you feel so old?
Yes.
Jose Ramirez hit his first home run in 2014. Do you have any idea who was in right field, whose head it went over?
No.
Ichiro.
Well, yeah.
When he was on the Yankees.
Yeah. That's a good call.
God,
That's a good pull.
10 years ago.
Yeah. Would you put Carlos Santana in?
Yes,
he is
I
top 10 in he's top 10 in home runs, but that's it. That's it. Not total bases, not doubles, not RBIs. 2nd all-time in walks. So, let me look. WAR position players. Yeah, he's not there either. Offensive WAR. Yeah, not there. I mean, I think for longevity for the fans, I think he'll make the Guardians Hall of Fame one day. This day, 1981, it was the last day of baseball. The next day, they would go on strike. It would last from June 12th all the way to August 31st, related to money. Owners wanted compensation for players leaving, but baseball, they have a lot of strikes, and they're the most recent, well, hockey, but, baseball certainly have their a lot. This is kind of a serious one, but, like, do you know the Rage Against the Machine album cover of the Buddhist monk that lit himself on fire? Have you ever seen that? So, Buddhist monk, this day, 1963, Thich Quang Duc self-immolates himself. He lit himself on fire. I know it because it's the cover of the Rage Against the Machine album, but he did it the same.
Remember, there was just a dude months ago.
He just did it. Yeah, he just did it the Trump thing. They said it's the most painful thing you could do.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because eventually it just burns through your nerves, but still up until that.
Oh, God.
No thanks.
I always have that debate, like, would you rather burn to death or freeze to death?
Probably freeze. Probably if I had to pick. Is it weird? Like, do you think... I don't know. This is too morbid. Do you think you know how you're going to go?
Do I think I know how I'm going to die?
Yeah.
How would I know that?
I don't know. I don't know. If there's something that just, you think... I don't know.
Well, you know how they say birthmarks are like... There's a theory like birthmarks or how you died in your past life or something.
Oh, really?
Like that. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. This day, 1962, Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers escape from Alcatraz. Not the movie. They actually escaped. Oh. They never found him. So they don't know if they made it, if they drowned in the bay, but they actually escaped this day, 1962. This day, 1905, the Penn's Railroad debuted what they called the fastest train in the world. You could get to New York from Chicago in 18 hours. How long do you think it takes to drive?
From New York to Chicago?
New York to Chicago.
12 hours.
Chicago. directions, your
Well,
location.
what part of New York?
Well, I'm just going to say New York City.
Then probably like 8, 9, or 10.
Google Maps. 12 hours on the dot. 12 hours and 2 minutes with $37 worth of tolls.
Look at me.
12 hours on the dot, but they did it in 18 hours, say 1905. This day, 1776, the first draft of the Declaration of Independence was completed. This day, 1742, Ben Franklin invented the Franklin stove.
Nice.
Where would we be
Where would
without
we be
it?
without a
I don't know.
stove?
Very happy birthday goes out to Vince Lombardi, Joe Montana, Diana Taurasi, Jacques Cousteau, Gene Wilder, Henry Hill, the actual mobster from Goodfellas, Hugh Lowry. I keep saying I need to get into House. I always say, like, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to watch House.
It's phenomenal.
It's
it's amazing.
I know I would love it.
It's
I
the
know
best
I would.
It's the best doctor show there.
Where's it streaming?
Peacock.
Damn, I don't have Peacock. Man,
I
Peter.
don't know if it's on anything else.
I'll have to find it. Peter Dinklage, Ryan Dunn, Shia LaBeouf, and Josh Jackson all celebrating birthday. You know Ryan Dunn was born in Medina?
Yeah. I think he's buried in Brexit.
I think he's buried in Brexit. I think you're right. All right, big day for you, buddy. I lied. It's 5 movies and a television show. I said 6 movies, but it's 5 and 1. You go 1 for 1, then that's a day short that we got to get to do our giveaway for the fans. So pressure is on. We start with a movie. This day, 2004. Centers around an outcast in high school. Man, I don't want to lay this up. An outcast in high school who gains a friend and he tries to ask the popular girl at school to prom. She eventually accepts him. The movie culminates with a talent show. What? An outcast in high school. And his ventures. Part of it is when he gets his job. Part of it's dealing with his family, his brother and his uncle.
Oh, no.
I don't want to lay this up for it. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have a little bit of meat to this.
Should I get this?
Yes, this is a very funny movie. It all culminates with him at a talent show.
Him at a talent show.
Yeah.
What's his talent?
He dances.
Oh. Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite is correct.
Yes.
Throw a picture. I didn't want to give you a quote.
Yeah.
Man,
2004.
When he puts on the time machine, he just kept killing.
Uncle Rico.
Throw a pigskin quarter mile. The most underrated part of that movie is Uncle Rico selling the bowls, and then when Kip runs over one and then he just peels out and he leaves, that's one of the best. Napoleon Dynamite still holds up to this. That was like an indie movie.
Yeah,
there was John Hader just did that and like look at him now. Yeah. Then they spawned off like the Ice movie and then,
Blades of
Benchwarm,
Glory,
Blades of Glory. Yeah. But Napoleon Dynamite, a kid at my high school did that dance for our talent show when he won. He's actually now a comedian in LA. He was in a Super Bowl commercial.
Was he?
Big buzz in Brunswick. Dan White was his name. Dan was he was a really good cross country runner too. And he did the dance for our talent show my senior year and won. And then he's a comedian and he was in a Super Bowl commercial.
What would be your talent if you had to do a talent show?
Nothing. I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't do anything musical. I really am very talentless. And if you listen to the show or watch the show, you would know that by now. I don't have many talents.
Okay.
I don't. Not anything that I would get up on a stage and do. So, but yes, Napoleon Dynamite. All right, next up is the television show that debuted this day 2002.
2002.
And ironically, off of this show is all about talent.
Oh, American Idol.
American Idol is correct.
Kelly Clarkson, season 1 winner.
Can you name one beyond that? Ruben Studdard, didn't he win one? And then
Kelly Clarkson won the first season. Carrie Underwood, won the second one. Adam Lambert got robbed.
Lambert's
he got
another
robbed.
one.
He didn't win.
But like I would say, of the famous people to come out of American Idol, is he not the lead singer of Journey right now or something like that? What's Adam?
Clay Aiken won.
Or no, Queen. Adam Lambert was doing Queen.
Yeah. Clay Aiken won.
Oh yeah, Clay Aiken. Yeah.
Chris Cook.
Don't know that. My wife likes The Voice,
because he beat David Archuleta. who everybody was upset about.
I didn't know David Archuleta was on that show.
Yeah, that's how he got famous.
Has it not jumped the shark, though?
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah.
So it's like right now it's like Luke Bryan, Katy Perry, and Lionel Richie.
Like The Voice, because they lost Blake Shelton now, too. My wife watches The Voice. The Voice
is
was
still, like, the most
goated
popular one.
when it was Adam Levine, Blake. And then I'll take Gwen Stefani. She was fine with
CeeLo
that.
Green was on it.
Honestly, I really like Joe Jonas. Or no, Nick Jonas. He's pretty good on it. They have Reba on there now.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay. But we're more of a Voice household. All right, so you're 2 for 2. Next up, a film that came out this day, 1999. This is a sequel, movie number 2 of a true trilogy.
What year? I'm sorry.
1999. Movie. This is a true trilogy in the fact that there's only 3 of these movies. This is the second one. It involves a man put out of place in his own time. He goes back there in this movie.
A man put out of his place?
So so basically think of it this way. He was in his own time in the 70s. They bring him back in the 90s. In this movie, he actually goes back to the 70s to solve some crimes that his arch enemy is trying to foil the plans of his arch enemy.
Not Looper?
No.
Foil the crimes of his arch enemy.
He is a spy. And this is a very satirical film.
It's funny.
Yes, hilarious. I love these movies.
Austin Powers? Second one? It's am I right though?
I don't know if I can give it to you on Austin Powers 2. What's the name of the movie? I'll give you the first one, International Man of Mystery. Then there's 2, and then the third one is Goldmember.
Oh, see, I think the only one. Austin Powers.
The Spy.
The Spy. Who? The Spy Who
Shagged Me.
Shagged Me. Oh. Does that count? I got Austin Powers 2.
I don't know. Let's see if you trip up on any of the rest. We'll go from here. All right, this movie should need no introduction. This day, 1993.
1990, Jurassic Park.
That is correct.
I think I saw something about that.
Okay,
today.
good. I was going to tweet it, but I want to foil this. Jurassic Park, top 10, guy named Dennis screws it all. The funniest meme that I see about that all the time is, you know, he always said he spares no expense, and then they go, hires one IT guy.
yeah. Isn't it Newman?
No, it's Wayne Knight is the actor, and he plays Dennis Nedry in that, and Newman. They go, spares no expense, hires one IT guy.
That's fun.
Love it, Jurassic Park. All right, next up, this day, 1986. A high school kid blows off a day of school.
Ferris Bueller,
That is correct.
Good movie. Is that all of them?
No, one more.
I think I'm
One
perfect.
more.
I mean,
All right.
Austin Powers 2.
This day, 1982, a film. Reese's Pieces are a big part of this movie.
How many more than that?
Oh.
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces. The main star of this movie is a big fan of Reese's Pieces.
E.T.?
That is correct.
Oh, I got it from that. I would have never got it from Reese's
He likes
Pieces.
Reese's Pieces.
I've never seen it.
Trippy. And I gotta tell you, as a kid watching that movie, the scene of them taking him out of the house when he's basically dead, that is traumatic. I don't think that movie should be, like, all up into it is fun. They find him laying in the river. They pick him out of the river.
The alien?
Yeah, he escapes. They find him in the river. They take him back to the house. Then Elliot gets sick. That scene always, like, I don't want to say it gave me nightmares, but I hated that scene. I'm not a big E.T. fan to begin with.
So did I go perfect?
I guess I'll give it to you, sure.
All right.
The other thing, Henry Thomas, who played E.T., he was in Gangs of New York. He played Johnny in Gangs of New York. Great flick. Good movie there. But yeah, man, I really never liked that scene out of E.T. Trippy movie. Young Drew Barrymore, of course. But all right. Well, speaking of E.T., that was directed by who?
It wasn't Spielberg, was it?
It was Spielberg, because he also did Jurassic Park. Let's get to it. Best directors in history. Yes, there is no Alfred Hitchcock. Please tell people why there's no Alfred Hitchcock in this.
Because
you said nobody would vote for him.
Nobody. I mean, no, because it's Psycho and then I guess Vertigo. But other than that, I mean,
he's like,
it's so old.
Well, usually he's on, when you think of an instant list of best directors, Hitchcock usually comes to mind.
I guess, but
But to be fair, who would you take out? Run through the groups, please, for everybody.
All right, Group 1, Steven Spielberg, David Fincher, George Miller, Sam Raimi.
That's so tough. I go Spielberg.
2, Martin Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola, Denis Villeneuve, and I think I pronounced it right, and Wes Anderson. And then
again,
Group 3,
a really hard group there.
Group 3, Stanley Kubrick, Christopher Nolan, James Cameron, and the Coen brothers. And then Group 4, Quentin Tarantino, Ridley Scott, John Carpenter, and Clint Eastwood.
See, I kind of want to take Clint Eastwood.
And put Alfred Hitchcock?
Yeah.
I mean, we can do it because that one runs tomorrow.
All right, hold that for tomorrow.
All right, well, Group 1.
Groups 1 and 2 go tonight.
Who's your vote for Group 1?
I'm probably going to go Spielberg.
I'm going to go David Fincher.
Fincher is close. And then Group 2. See, I want to say Francis Ford Coppola just because of The Godfather. I haven't seen Dune. So but it sounds amazing. And then we're sleeping on Wes Anderson on this whole thing too.
Yeah, he has a bunch.
Wes Anderson. You know what I love about this show? Because we don't have to, we just keep going, right?
The Grand Budapest Hotel for Wes Anderson.
Bottle Rocket, Rushmore, The Royal Tenenbaums, good movie. Fantastic Mr. Fox, Moonrise Kingdom, Grand Budapest Hotel, Isle of Dogs.
French Dispatch.
The French Dispatch, that came out in 2021, and then Asteroid City, which was I
didn't see that.
Dude, was trippy. Yeah, it's pretty good. And then Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar and Thee Moore that just came out, and then he's working on the Phoenicians.
Angelo says George Lucas, ?
Well, we talked about that earlier. Ryan didn't want to put George Lucas in there either.
Star Wars. It's so one level.
I don't know. You're going off what have you done for me recently, not what's your best. That's what you're going with. Ryan didn't put him in. I don't know what to tell you. Send the first 2 out tonight. I'll retweet them at MattFontaine83.
How about we do this?
Mike tweets. I'm not a big movie guy, but I agree with Angelo. Where the hell is George Lucas?
This is what we'll do, Matt. This is what we'll do. We'll do.
You want to do a rat tail tomorrow between
I'll put
Eastwood?
Group 1 and 2 today, and then we'll take out Clint Eastwood, and we'll put who gets the final spot. Hitchcock,
Eastwood, and Lucas. You put all 3.
Yeah,
all 3. Put all 3. That is going to be our rat tail for tomorrow. I agree with Mike. I agree with Angelo.
Angelo said Indiana Jones. Does that count? Lucasfilms? I don't think that counts.
Oh, well, Steven Spielberg technically directed Raiders of the Lost Ark, but it was made with George Lucas, right? They had that crossover of Lucasfilm. I think that should count. Well, you know what? I guess we are talking about just, we're talking about just directing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
This is the hardest bracket ever.
Yeah.
Every single name on each group is I could vote for them.
Yeah. All right, we'll see. Great stuff today. Well, I'm excited to see how it votes out because it's personal taste. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we're back at it tomorrow. Guards, stick it to those guys from Cincinnati. They're already starting to talk crap on Twitter. Send it to them. I said, I want a video of them denouncing Skyline Chili.
So then we're going to have to eat it if we lose.
We're not going to lose, so go ahead and make that deal. If that's what they want, I want to leave it up to them. What do they want us to do? If it's somehow choke down that slop that is Skyline Chili, that trash, then I'll do it. Because there's one out, you said there's one out by your house, right?
Yeah.
So we'd have to go after the show. We'd have to go vlog this after the show because they don't open until 10:30. So
how do you know that?
I Googled it earlier.
Oh.
I Googled it because you were talking about Skyline. Here, okay, do you want to, wow, I don't want to Uber Eats that, man. That'd be like a $45 trip.
Ew,
We ain't doing. And especially in the car for oh God. Put it on them. We have given them what we want if we win. Put it on them. They get what they want if we win.
Okay.
That's the simile. So we got it tonight with our boost. Get signed up with Tipico using that code Fontana150. Appreciate everybody joining us today. Go vote on our best director. We're back tomorrow. Will the Cavs have a head coach? Find out.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
I think so too. For Ryan Tyler, I am Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.